Hey, hello there, YouTube. I know I haven't posted for a couple days. Just wanted to tell you a really quick story. Um, don't mind the mess behind me. But, in our lives, we all go through some hard times. And this one time was my hard time. And at the time, this was, I don't know, over 20 some years ago, I have to say. Um, I was living in this house and I was living with a drag queen. And the funny part was not so much that I was living with a drag queen, was that the drag queen was a really good friend of mine, and he was about 6'2", and he would go into my house during the day, say, looking like a man, and come out all of a sudden this huge woman that was dressed like a woman. I always just wondered, oh my God, what do my neighbors think? But that's not the story. The story is one night, like I said, we all go through hard times. My electric got turned off. And fortunately, I had somewhere to go. Well, so did my friend. He had somewhere to go, but he decided that he was going to stay at the house and have a few friends over after being at the bar. I ended up staying at a friend's house. Well, during that time, I don't know, something kept bothering me really bad. That being that there was no electric on, that, oh my God, my house is going to catch fire because I knew there were candles on. And what it was I kept, I had a little, one of those tight kitchen nets for my daughter at the time. And it was her kitchenette, and it was in the kitchen. In the corner of the dinette area where my dining room table was. Besides there was my kitchen table in that room, the door, and then this big window. And I called him up after the bar closed, and I said, please, please, Frankie, please remember to blow out the candles. Before you go to bed. He said, oh, don't worry about it. I got it. I said, okay. I still, for some reason, did not feel at ease. But I let it go, went to bed, and I got woken up. I guess my friend had called the house a few times on that morning, and my friend's mother was letting him know that I was in bed. Well, I guess the last time he was just like, I need to talk to her. It's really important. So I get up, and when she tells me that it's the phone, I just had the worst feeling about it. And I just had a really bad feeling that he was calling to tell me that my house was on fire. So I ended up going home. Well, actually, I'm sorry, I completely forgot the phone call. He calls me up and he's like, Teresa, I have to tell you something. And I'm like, okay, what? And he's like, the house caught on fire last night. Oh my God, I was flipping out, freaking out, and just a wreck about it, because like I said, I just had this feeling the night before that something was going to happen. I just had it in me. It was just a feeling I felt. When you feel those feelings, you know something's going to happen. More than likely it is. Go with your gut. Anyway, I get on the highway. Not the highway. I get on the road. I'm about 20 minutes from home. I'm flying. When I get to the house, finally, I pull into the driveway. And when I get there, when I open up my door, All I smell is this fire. It smells like my whole house was just ashes. But obviously it wasn't. My house was standing. I could see the house, I don't see any flames coming out, which was a good thing. But I can smell it, and I could smell it like there was a fire. It just scared me so bad. So anyway, I end up going into the house. I go into the house, and of course, my friend Frankie, he's laying on the couch, and he's got, I don't know, about 10 blankets over top of him, because of course I had no lights. So without lights, then your furnace doesn't work too. I don't know if everybody's like that, but at least where I live, that's how it is. You don't have, unless you have an electric furnace. I had gas and electric, but my electric ran the gas as well. The gas furnace, I should say. It didn't work without the electric. So I go in the house, and I go into the kitchen where the fire was ignited. And sure enough, what I see is that I have a black ceiling. I see smoke still smothering away, out of this fire that was in the corner of the house where the kitchenette was. My daughter's kitchenette, mind you, is purely melted to the linoleum. Oh my God, it was a sight. Today I could laugh about it, but then I was really upset. So I go into, I'm looking at the kitchen. I'm looking at the kitchen, and I'm just freaking out. And I see that the curtains from the door were completely gone. The window has this huge crack in it. And mind you, at the time I had like 3 cats. My cats, thankfully, were locked in my bedroom. So I go first thing into the bedroom, and I see my cats are okay. I go to my kids' room, and when I go into my kids' room, I go into the closets and I smell the clothing, and oh my God, it smelled so bad of smoke. And I go into my room again, and I smell my clothes, and again, it just smells like pure smoke. And I'm just like freaking out. Oh my God, my clothes, they smell so bad. Everything is, it's just terrible. Everything just stinks so bad. And what am I going to do? I didn't have much at the time. What I had was mine, and it was, I was so grateful, though, that the fire department wasn't called, because I couldn't even imagine the damage then. But anyway, as I'm in my kids' room freaking out and crying and worrying about it, my friend Frankie comes over to me, and he's like, "Oh my God, Teresa, you're so worried about everything else. What about me? What about me?" And I just looked at him, and I just started cracking up. When I looked at him, let me tell you, his face was covered in soot. All I saw were the whites of his eyes and his pink lips, part of his pink lips. And of course, then after cracking up, I hugged him and told him that I'm glad he was okay, and that, oh my God, you have to get in the shower, you have to get this shit off you. And so it was, at the time, like I said, it was a really bad situation. But then again, like I said, He was a drag queen. So, I guess that was the night of one of his drag shows. And, you know, he had some friends over and they were all drinking and having a good time. And the candles that I had in some plants, I had some candles in plants on my daughter's kitchen set. That's what caught fire. He fell asleep and the candles he forgot to blow out. So obviously they, you know, went down, caught fire. I'm sure the plants were the first things that caught fire, that started the flames and everything. But so yeah, it was, like I said, it was really a scary time, you know. But the next week we end up going out for his drag show that night, and he proceeds to tell me that he's gonna do a show with the song "Burning Down the House," and that's what his drag show was. I mean, of course, other songs, but he had the song "Burning Down the House," if you're familiar with it or not. If you're not familiar with it, go check it out. That's what it's called, "Burning Down the House." And what could we do? We could laugh about it, and that was it, you know. But thankfully, everything turned out great. We got things fixed, and oh, I forgot to tell you the most funniest part of the whole thing was, now mind you, the corner of the kitchenette is flaming up to the ceiling, coming out. I'm not sure. It was a pretty good distance of how big these flames were, and I mean enough to make my kitchen ceiling black and the walls pretty black. So I mean, you could just imagine how big this fire was. My friend Frankie is putting this fire out, mind you. You have to go up a step and go straight over to where the kitchen sink was, and walk back over to put this fire out. He doesn't grab like maybe a pitcher or I don't know, a big bowl or a big pot. No, he grabs a cup that was, I swear to you, maybe about this high. It was probably about a 12-ounce cup, and ran, filling it up in the sink, running back to the corner and throwing that on there, running back to the kitchen, running to the fire, and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth he went. And that is why there was still smoke coming up from the floor when I got there. That when I got there, the only thing I could think to do was, because, oh my God, I didn't want this to catch fire again. So I went in and I grabbed some more water and just poured it all over the smoke, you know, wherever there was smoke coming out. And that's my story for today. But it was just really crazy and really wild. And I just want to tell anybody out there, whether your light's on or your lights are off, and you decide that you want to light candles in your house, please, I beg of you, please don't forget to blow them out before you go to bed. Because luckily for us, it could have been a lot worse. But thankfully, we were able to take care of it and still live there. Yeah, it needed some airing out and things. But for the most part, my house was okay. My cats were okay. Frankie was okay. And, you know, I still had my home, thank God. You know, my children lived there. And so, you know, it was just a good thing that we still had some place to go to. But that's my story for today. So I hope everybody enjoys it. Let me know what you think. Please subscribe to my channel. Hit the like button, especially if you liked my story. And leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. And don't forget, when you hit that subscribe button, to hit the bell on the side so you know every time I put up a new video. Thanks so much. I hope everybody enjoys. Have a good night.